Hello, so in this video we're going to show another example of vibe coding where we're going to try to get Gemini to create some graphics for us this time. I think previously we showed various tables of the data, and that's nice, but part of the nice thing about asking Gemini to produce these web apps is it can do a pretty good job of creating graphics in various ways as well. So I want to show an example of that. So again, we're going to navigate to Gemini, which is here, and this document will be in the description of the video. So if you navigate to the website, it's here, and make sure you have everything loaded in. One thing we said, each time when you create these web apps for the business data project, you want to load in the documentation for it. So if you remember, the way that works is if you come back over here to the Vibe coding page, this is a markdown page with all the documentation for the data from the database. And I think I have a copy of that up here. It looks like this. And it's just a big, big file that tells the LLM what the data looks like. So if you right click and download this to your hard drive, and then I'm just going to save it over the one that's already there. Save it, say replace, and then let's go back here. And before you start in, turn the canvas on, and then come back over here and say upload files. And you go and get this one. It's called the REST API Business Management Dual Database. Documentation. Okay. And so it's the one that says REST API. Let's check and make sure. Yeah, it's the REST API one. Okay, so good. We got it loaded in. And now, all right, so one thing that all the companies have is in this data set is they're all put into a segment. So we had each company in a segment. Some of the segments had subsegments, so companies could be in segments and subsegments, but at least every company is in a segment. So let's actually ask Gemini if it can create some graphics that'll show us how companies are doing relative to their segment. So I'm going to ask it for similar data that we saw last time. Let's just ask it for, maybe this time we'll do just the percentages and like the gross margin percentage, the SGA percentage, and so on. So let's see if we go and take a look at those. Let me see where my documentation is. It's over here. But if I go back to the HTML version of that, and I go down to the metrics. So here's the financials here, but if I keep going to the metrics, there's these 5 percentages here. So actually, let's just start with gross margin percentage, right? That's a pretty important one. So let's copy this. And then over here, what I want to ask Gemini to do is produce a web app that shows graphically the segment. Let's do discount stores, and the companies in that segment. Okay, so can you show a line chart or line graph of the, let's get the gross margin percentage for each of the companies over all the years. Okay, so also can you show the segment average for that gross margin percentage as well? Okay, show the segment average as a dashed line. I don't know if so. Okay, dash line. Okay, fine. Should I say anything else? Produce a web app that shows graphically the segment discount stores and the companies in that segment. Can you show a line graph? Okay, also can you show the segment average for the... Okay, let's see what it does with this. Hope I'm not missing anything. Oh, did I not have canvas clicked on down here? Oh, I did. Okay, there it comes. All right, so it's getting this chart library, so it looks like it plans to do some charting over the years, right? I guess I asked for okay, here it is. Discount store. I hope it understands the segment name. I guess that's the segment name, right? If it doesn't know the exact segment name, it should from that documentation that I gave it, but you know, we'll see. Okay, let's see what it's done. All right, so it's made an interesting little graph here. Let me go down a little bit. Okay, so here is the... Okay, so this is the gross margin percentage and this is the discount store segment, and the stores in it are here, 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 and here, and here. And then it's done the discount store average is the dashed line, right? And then the other ones are the gross margin percentages. It looks like maybe that calculation is incorrect. I would expect the average to be somewhere in the middle of this data up here. So this one already makes me kind of wonder, did we do the calculation, or did we do the average calculation here correct or incorrect? So I have to check on that and see, but at any rate, you kind of get the idea. Maybe we should ask it for one of the other percentages as well too. Let's ask it for the net profit margin. Let's do that one as well. And this one we'll ask it to just replace this graph with a net profit margin. So can you do the graph for the net profit margin percentage, or instead? Okay, let's see if I can do that. Yeah, why is that average so low? Technically it's not an average, it's kind of an aggregate. So I think if oh, and Walmart is green, so oh, and maybe because the volume for Walmart is so large, yeah, I think that's what happens, because it's an aggregate and not an average, and because Walmart is down here, I think that's just kind of skews the graph of it. So it looks mostly like Walmart, because Walmart is the most has the most volume there. Okay, so this is the net profit margin, and again, it's dominated by, the aggregate is dominated by Walmart, and so that kind of makes sense. It's not an average directly. And so it's probably a little bit incorrect to call it the discount store average. It's not really the average. It's an aggregate, is what it's called, and so it's computed based on. And because these are percentages, we're not seeing the volume related to Walmart. We're just seeing the overall percentage. So, okay, but that's very nice. So it gave us a really nice graphic for that. I think these guys up here, these swatches, are not so great. I don't know what's going on with that, but the graph itself is nice. I like that you can hover over it and see which graphs are which. Okay, so that's an example of doing graphics with the LLM coding for you.